the story of a miner with a pickaxe to grind. I'm John Renton with a retro review of My Bloody Valentine 3D! Oh, spooky! That's about actually how good the 3D effects were in this movie. It's from 2009, and it's a remake of a classic from 1981. A decent slasher movie called My Bloody Valentine. They just had to add the 3D on here because they had to find a way to jazz it up. And 3D was all the rage. Kids loved the 3D. They loved D sticking right in their face. This review got a little bit weird. They actually did the 3D gimmick because they realized, shit, we're trying to remake a movie that, while it wasn't all that bad, it isn't necessarily going to translate to a new audience unless we gimmick it with 3D and that guy from Supernatural. And also, let's just have some boobies and some blood and some silly gore effects. And then let's do the same thing they did with the Friday the 13th 2009 remake. Let's just slam two movies into one and hope nobody fucking notices. Except if you're a horror fan, you're going to fucking notice that about the Friday the 13th 2009 version. I'll retro review that at some point. They just smashed the first two movies together. Really badly, I might add. In this one, if you haven't seen it, by the way, it's a retro review. There will be spoilers. But you'd have Jamie King, you had Tom Atkins. And I do have to say, Jamie King actually, has been pretty ageless. And you had Keir Smith, who, has been in a variety of movies. Some good, some bad, but he's not actually that bad of an actor. And it's Jensen Ackles. I always feel like I need to, just sound like I'm regurgitating that last name for some reason. He's one of the guys in Supernatural, the big beefy guy. The guy that looked like he could have been the stunt double for the guy in Space Mutiny. You know what I'm fucking talking about. So anyway, there was a mining accident, and a guy by the name of Harry Warden had killed the various people that he was trapped with to basically save his heir, and also because he was goddamn insane. And then later he is in a coma, and then wakes up sometime later and decides to go on a killing spree. The cops get there, and they find everybody fucking gutted. That was one, the hospital didn't have a huge staff, but it had a big enough staff where there were bodies all over the goddamn floor. And heart was cut out of the nurse who was checking on him and put in a Valentine's box, much like in the first movie. And then we smash cut to a party at the same mine where Harry Warden committed all his murders. And there's various people. There's Tom Jensen. Tom played by Jensen, by the way. Axel, played by Keir. Jamie King played the character of Sarah. And there was also a character of Irene, who is like, come on, Irene, yeah, you know what I mean. And they're, just celebrating, having a whole bunch of fun and everything because they're going to go off to college and do a whole bunch of great stuff and everything. They are at least mid-20-somethings playing, college-age kids. I don't fucking understand it at all. I don't fucking get why slasher movies did that. Granted, this wasn't as egregious as some slasher movies that had clearly 30-somethings playing, teenagers. But it is what it is. It's a slasher movie trope. So, the jump scare noises fucking annoyed me in this movie. I will say that. This movie's by no means good, but it's stupid, trashy fun. I will still argue that the My Bloody Valentine 1981 version is an overall better movie. This one's much more gimmicky with the 3D. But at least this movie it leaned into the stupidity. Harry Warden goes killing again. And basically he pokes out a guy's eye, jamming the pickaxe, and the eye shoved right in everybody's face so you could just see it right there. And then a pickaxe to the mouth, which is actually pretty goddamn cool. One of the coolest deaths actually in this was a girl who got, freaking slashed. And then, she got, basically got the shovel shoved into her mouth, and then the rest of her head just, toppled off the top, which is actually kind of cool. And Tom gets captured by Harry. It's not a Tom, Dick, and Harry situation, if you will. There's nobody named Dick in this. Even though the character Tom's kind of a dick, so you know what, Tom? Yeah, it's still not going to work. Moving on. He gets, captured by Harry, and everybody else leaves. His friends, even though Axel doesn't really like him, and ends up marrying Tom's girlfriend, a bunch of years later, when we flash forward. But anyway, Tom gets chased by Harry, and then the cops catch up, one played by Tom Atkins, who ends up shooting Harry. And then Tom comes face to face with the killer who's in the whole mining thing, the helmet, the that kind of stuff, because you really don't want to breathe that shit down there. I got the black lung pops. If you get that line, I love you guys. back when Ben Stiller had a good career. So he comes face to face with a guy that basically got shot. His blood's all over his face, and he's naturally traumatized. So, all right, it is what it is. But Harry runs away. He doesn't end up dying, at least not there. They kind of do the whole thing where, like, they try to do the mind collapse thing. Oh, you're dead. You're all dead. I'm coming, Harry. Remember the end of the first one? I retro-reviewed that. You can check that out if you want. So then we cut to 10 years later in the same town, small mining town of Harmony. It's not Ebony and Ivory living in perfect harmony, but it is simply Harmony. And this town is, it's like Aberdeen before they updated the whole goddamn thing. If you've been to Aberdeen, Washington, you would know what I'm talking about. They put all the money in the very beginning of the goddamn town when you go in on the highway, and then everything else is from like the 1970s at the most current. But anyway, we cut to 10 years later, and everybody's still living in town except Tom. Tom kind of vanished. This also apparently is the 10-year cut period where nobody fucking ages one bit. Like, yeah, they're probably playing their actual ages here, but it's just funny that they added like a little bit of gray to some of the characters' hair, and that was really about it. Tom Atkins, though, always looks old. I mean, I think even when he was young, he looked old. But Axel and Sarah are married. They have a son. But he's actually cheating with a younger, hotter girl named Megan, played by Megan Boone. So it must have been really difficult for her to remember her character name. Megan. Wait, do you mean me, Megan, or Megan the character? You're one and the same. Just go do your acting. The director, presumably. So, it's fucking obvious. This guy is not very good at hiding. You shouldn't hide anyway. You shouldn't cheat on your significant other. But this guy was not hiding it very well. They're in this, like, abandoned type cabin where he's meeting, he's secretly, with this girl that everybody fucking knows about because it's a small mining town, lights in a northern mining town, if you will. And now I have that song stuck in my head, even though the mining part wasn't there. But it's going to be Valentine's Day soon. Oh no, we could get the murderers because Harry Warden has escaped maybe again. We'll see. Anyway, she says, you don't have to give me anything for Valentine's Day. She whispers to him, I'm pregnant. Great job not wearing a condom. You shouldn't have cheated and you should have worn a condom, you fucking idiot. So Tom's back to sell the mine. It was in his father's name, and he has issues, like taking meds, so certain things won't happen. Gee, wonder why a traumatized guy would need to take meds, and suddenly weird shit starts happening. Like we get a random sex scene with the blonde, Irene, come on Irene, and I think the guy did, moving on. The guy that she cheated with kind of was like a flabby Karrion Kross, and I couldn't get over that. But they have that, and this guy is secretly recording her, and she gets upset. So she goes out freaking naked, and this is where it gets fucking hilarious. Throws the goddamn gun at his head, trying to get the camera. And then for some reason, the miner guy, Harry Warden, whoever the fuck it is, just axes the guy right in the head. I never thought I'd have to see footage of a naked blonde woman chasing down a bald guy that filmed her, and then that bald guy gets a pickaxe jammed through his head again. Always delete your search history. So, then he gets killed, she gets killed, which is just really goddamn hilarious. I don't know why it's so fucking hilarious. There's a short woman, like Linda Hunt size, that owns the hotel that Tom is at, by the way. He's just, he's there for a little bit, but he's not welcome. Because he's trying to sell the mine that brings a lot of money into the town, despite the fact that you would think that even in 2009, coal mining wouldn't necessarily be the biggest profit, but biggest profit maker, but really, what do I know? Some towns rely on weird things. This midget gets killed. Well, the pickaxe just gets jammed through her head, and then the lights get busted, and the wood paneling gets thrown out. And then the blonde gets killed, which was kind of funny. I don't know why that was funny. Tom and Sarah also used to be an item, as I referenced earlier. And people are thinking, oh, it's Harry Warden, he's back. And then he kind of fights with some guys in a bar, like one old guy that was old in the flashback. So he must have been ready to turn to dust. He punches Tom. I'm surprised that he didn't break his wrist. And Axel thinks that Sarah is cheating. He's deflecting. because he's goddamn guilty, and he's like, shit, how do I get out of this when, oh yeah, my wife works with the girl that I'm cheating on her with. Great, I was smart. No, Axel was a fucking idiot. Everybody was a fucking idiot in this movie, by the way. Everyone keeps saying that he shouldn't sell the mine, and he must face his fears and return to the mine. And then he does. And then he gets trapped. And he watches a coworker get pickaxed while the lock got busted or like bent in so he can't get out. Oh no, he can't get out. How the fuck did this happen? The heart gets ripped out. Lots of hearts getting ripped out here. Kalima, Kalima, or however that's said. And then Harry was apparently killed by the cops. He was buried. Oh no, wait, his grave is dug up. Oh no, what happened? He couldn't have possibly come back from the dead. We can't get Harry Warden the zombie. And then Tom is interrogated by Axel, and then we get a bit of a fight because Tom's like, oh, you're jealous. She settled for you. Your wife settled for you. It's clearly obvious who the fucking villain is here, and no amount of deflecting by the plot, by any like red herring, by any other plot twists are gonna hide the fact that it's obvious that Tom is the fucking killer. Of course he fucking is. Stuff starts happening right when he gets back. One old guy gets killed with a grounded pickaxe, gets his eye poked out. He's like, oh shit. It does it in a really comical way. I don't know why. You might as well ham it up. And then that guy Ben is found in Harry Warden's grave. Oh no. When a miner goes shopping. No, and I mean a miner, a guy in a mining outfit, not an underage person. Always accompany your kids when they do shopping. Weird people out there. So, Sarah and Megan closed down the shop, and then this market, pretty big market for a small town, by the way, had a lot of rows. The killer's chasing them. And then, Sarah knows that Megan's cheating on her, or cheating with her husband, but she's like, whatever, I still got to work with her. And like, hey, just confront the husband. It's not Megan's fault, or maybe it is. We never got to find that out because the killer dispatches Megan in the alleyway, which is really fucking hilarious because he was pickaxing through the goddamn door. Here's Harry Tom. Harry Tom. Moving on. He somehow manages to get out all the way back around to the alleyway and get Megan within 30 seconds. And I know it's a slasher movie. I just don't fucking understand how they did that. And then it's just so fucking goddamn stupid. She's found gutted. Be mine forever. It was written on the Valentine's card that she gave to Axel. And Sarah knew he was cheating. Oh, I'm not an idiot. I mean, you kind of are because you came up with really stupid ways to try to stop the killer. She finally hit the alarm after, Megan got killed. She could have done that before. Maybe she wanted Megan killed. Who knows? So, Tom got around really quickly because suddenly we smash cut to Sarah and Axel's house. The hired help, the nanny basically to watch their kid, ends up getting killed. There's cops out there and they're trying to take care, or they're trying to find the killer. And the housekeeper's in the dryer, which was actually fucking hilarious. And the son's hiding. Burke gets his jaw ripped off. Man, Tom Atkins. That Atkins diet will fucking kill you. But Tom waits for no man. He took the downtown train. Maybe that's how he got to the house so quickly. Maybe there's an underground downtown train in this town of Harmony. The Harmony train, if you will. What am I on about? Tom gets Sarah and they go off and he basically is losing his mind. It's pretty obvious. She crashes a car. She runs to the mine. But first she stops off at the cabin and sees the stuff. She sees the picture that she was holding, that she found of her and Tom back, when they were together. And Axel found it. Maybe Axel was the one to put it there. No, it wasn't Axel. Suddenly, Harry forgot how to murder properly because he didn't do any. He just couldn't get her. And in a cabin where he has a light and she doesn't, but it is what it is, then they get in the mines. And Tom lets it slip. Wait a second. The stuff that was written on the wall. Megan's dead. The stuff that was written on the wall. I never told you that. Well, yeah, you did. You did. No, you didn't. It's obvious that he is the killer. He's either, crazy or Harry's ghost possessed him. They imply a lot of shit here. The bottom line is they were just stretching this goddamn fucking plot. Oh, I'm right here. And then he tries to kill him. They try to escape. Well, he's pursuing them, and every time he hits the light, we get the flash of, the miner outfit. And then she decides to use the last bullet to shoot the gas tanks and burn Tom. But then in the rubble, he escapes, kills a guy with the pickaxe. He somehow is able to swing despite the fact he got blown in, to smithereens. Smithereens, eh? And then he escapes. So we didn't get My Bloody Valentine 3D2 Electric Bloody Lou. Sounds kind of goddamn disgusting. But we got what was a fairly entertaining movie and ridiculous and everything. And that's the retro review right there. What did you think of My Bloody Valentine 3D? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.